Is it painful or very painful? The royal show is over for Meghan and Harry. Well, it sounds like some pretty devastating news has come Meghan and Harry's way. Apparently, neither they nor their invisible children, Archie and Lilibet, are invited by King Charles to commemorations marking the first anniversary of the late Queen's death. And considering that the only thing that makes Meghan and Harry special is their connection to the royal family, I'm sure that snub has to hurt. It also suggests that the king has finally found his strength. Many people were upset that the royal family didn't publicly fight back after all the allegations thrown at them by Harry and Meghan while the late Queen was still living. Well, it looks like payback time has come. And for that, I think we all need to cry 3 cheers for the king. Before that, of course, Charles was grieving his mother and father. He had a lot to adapt to when he became king. I'm guessing now he is in a much better place emotionally and mentally, so he can make these hard decisions when it comes to the two of them. Now, the Queen never wanted to rock the boat, and clearly she wasn't doing well. And as you get older, you just want things to be pleasant. You want the status quo to remain the same. I cannot blame her for that. He is going to be so respected, though, for this decision in the UK. The message is clear. They are not welcome in Britain, and that's the way it has to be. The rebuff is going to mean that Meghan and Harry will not be able to take advantage next month of the most poignant royal ceremony since the Queen passed for their self-serving documentary or book or whatever it is they're working on now. And to add insult to injury, the disgraced Prince Andrew and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, they're invited to the family gathering at Balmoral on September 8th. And it's not as if Meghan and Harry can use conflicting schedules as an excuse for not being there. The next day, they're going to be incredibly close from Britain. They'll be in Dusseldorf, and they'll be there launching the Invictus Games. They have already left Frogmore Cottage in Windsor, meaning that they don't have any real home in Britain anymore. Looks to me like the day has finally come when the royal family is publicly shunning them. It has to finally be occurring to them that maybe they're going to be looking at a very depressing future. Maybe this could explain why we have seen a very different side of Harry and Meghan lately. Before, remember how they would always hold each other's hands and gaze into each other's eyes all lovingly? But in their video they released this week, thanking winners of a youth technology award they fund, they never even made eye contact, and they didn't touch each other one single time. And in the photos of them celebrating Meghan's 40-something birthday in Montecito on Wednesday, Meghan walked directly out of the restaurant ahead of Harry, who looked miserable as usual. They were not holding each other's hands, Meghan wasn't stroking his back, so could it be that the royal show is finally over for the two of them? Because it is interesting that all the exaggerated hand-holding and PDAs only seem to happen during official public appearances, alleged candid shots of their private outings. Harry is usually walking at least a pace or two behind Meghan. And I'm not saying that she needs to be walking behind him all the time, but their behavior is the opposite of how it usually is. Royal expert Mr. Phil Dampierre has weighed in, and he explains, it appears that the event to remember the late Queen is taking place at Balmoral, so no doubt will be a small, private, and intimate family gathering. It would be very different and awkward to include the Sussexes in such an event, whereas it has been less so at large public gatherings. They have always declined previous invitations to Balmoral, so it's hardly surprising that they've not been invited this time. Not an easy decision for the king to make, but in view of the Sussexes' continuous attacks on the royal family, it is the right one. Another expert has pointed out, though, they were in the UK just before she died, then went showboating to Germany, then came back to the UK with no plans to make time to visit his elderly, frail granny the Queen. He doesn't deserve any respect or invitation when he treated both his elderly grandparents like he did. Before that, they wouldn't even go to see the Queen there with their children, as the Markle said it was too far, so quite right not inviting them. They're a disputable couple. Meghan doesn't care as she doesn't respect family ties. Only the possibility of PR is important for her, and this is what she wants. Meanwhile, attacking Camilla in that book was a line for Charles that should never have been crossed. Harry just took things too far. Their Netflix show was incredibly insulting to the Queen, too. I mean, that curtsy sketch, come on. It looks like there really is no way back for them. Meghan and Harry are being subjected to death by 1,000 cuts, and I'm sorry, but nobody ever deserved that more than them. Well done, Your Majesty. It looks like Harry and Meghan's days are finished. And as for the children, well, I say prove that you actually have those children first. The real royals would never ever sink to their level by responding to all the accusations they have made. I remember what my mother used to say to me when I was a little girl. She would always say, "Don't lower yourself to other people's standards," and that is incredibly true. They failed to honor the late queen when she was still living, so no, it's not fair for them to now be a part of this private family memorial. And then there's the fact that they can't be trusted, so of course they shouldn't go. But Ms. Angela Levin claims, what's the big drama about them not attending the late Queen's commemorations? They never turned up when she invited them. Harry and Meghan couldn't be bothered to visit the Queen at Balmoral when she was alive, so it's poetic justice that they haven't been invited to the family gathering at Balmoral, which is being held in her memory. Smart move by the royal family. Yeah, it's true. I mean, if my child and his or her partner had said and done what the two of them have said and done, they wouldn't be invited to any of our family events ever again until both of them individually met face to face with every single person they insulted, and they would have to acknowledge the pain they caused and they would have to beg for our forgiveness, and I'm serious about that. I mean, do they want to pretend to be the victims here? All right, sure, pretend as much as you want, but nobody's buying it. They need to understand that the decent people in this world are not going to put up with a couple of people who would throw around so many nasty rumors about their own family in front of the entire world. Rumors that, by the way, are unproven. Anybody out there who believes what they've said without any proof is somebody I would never want to see on a jury, that's for sure. And why would they be invited after they trashed the royal family in interviews, in a book, and in a Netflix series as well? It looks like the penny has finally dropped, and it looks like their commercial brand value is zero. I don't think they have any chance of ever rejoining the firm, thanks to their shameful disloyalty. They are now the new Mrs. Simpson and Edward. They are wealthy, but they don't have any real meaning in life. It's over for them. The games are over, the tantrums are over, the melodrama. It's all run its course. We're sick of it, and they have nothing new to sell. People are just bored of them at this point. For now, they may have money in the bank, but it looks like that is quickly disappearing. So the question now is, how long is Meghan going to stick around? Harry and Meghan made it very clear what they think of his family. Harry couldn't be bothered to go visit his grandmother or Prince Philip before both of them passed away. Harry made such a big deal when the Queen passed, he kicked up quite the fuss, but King Charles put them in their places. And there is no point to invite them anyway. They're not going to come. They don't want to have anything to do with Harry's family. And I'm sure it feels good for King Charles to have the upper hand, and he's got control of the narrative. And I'm so glad, because this means the royal family can honor the Queen as she should be honored. They don't have to worry about Meghan and Harry's drama. I mean, is it sad that probably 5 years down the line or something, Harry's going to finally realize what he's done? Well, yeah, it is sad, but this is because of him. He has made these choices, so I don't feel sorry for him. I remember always telling my kids not to marry with rose-tinted glasses, to please make an informed decision about who you partner up with. They listened to me. I'm sure Harry got the same advice, so why didn't he listen? And you, what do you think about this couple? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section, and we can also discuss your thoughts and feelings. Don't be afraid to like and share my video with anybody else who would enjoy it anytime you want. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.